Kevin.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. You know, it's what is it? Early August now.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
In Lincoln, Nebraska. Nice and warm, but it's nice and cool in the shade. We're here in this little ravine.
Yes, indeed.
These nice trees and creeping Charlie and little grasses here.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
cool. Indeed.
Literally cool. Yeah. So, how's your experience been so far? Has it been what you've expected it to be? Is there some surprises?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how is the reality compared to what you're expecting?
Well, we started in the Delaware Bay, and well, I actually started in Maryland. I was spending time in Minnesota, learning from the Ojibwe Native Americans, and so that delayed my starting with the bike trip. So I met up with them on June 11th in Hancock, Maryland, and then we biked on the C&O Canal for a while, which was nice, and then we stopped in Pittsburgh, which is my hometown, and we visited all types of groups that were working on permaculture in the city, like in very neighborhoods where the soil was completely toxic, so they were bringing in soil, and I had not really explored all the things in my own hometown since I'd only recently been getting interested in permaculture and stuff, and so and then after we left Pittsburgh, we went through Ohio, we went through Indiana, we went through Illinois, then Iowa, and then here in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. It's been, I mean, I couldn't have possibly came up with all the scenarios, all the synchronicities that we've run into. So it's definitely been an unexpected journey. It's been amazing, all the people that we meet, just from wishing them a happy Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah, like that's one of the really cool defining things that I've really noticed about you guys is the happy day of the week salutations. And I was thinking about it today, and it seems like, you know, that's really like what the kind of semantics of it is like, you know, hi, I don't know you, but I would like to know you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's not like it's very a joyful way of presenting yourself, like
Mm-hmm.
you're celebrating, like, hey, let's celebrate, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just such a wonderful way of beginning a conversation that really benefits
Mm-hmm.
both people or the group, you
Yeah.
know, and that first step, it seems like it's very solid ground.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, you guys just go from there, and
Yeah.
it seems like it works really well.
Yeah, when we were in, I believe, Indiana, Tina was further behind us, and she was stopped at a red light. She wished this lady in a car a happy Monday, and then that just started a conversation. She was like, yeah, we're biking across America. Here's our website. And then Tina just kept on biking down the road, and then like 10 miles later, we're stopped in this town, thinking of a place to camp, and this car pulls up with the same lady and her husband. She's like, hey guys, we checked out your website, we read your blog. This is only like an hour and a half later, and she's like, you guys are doing exactly what we have always wanted to do. We've always wanted to ride on a long distance bike ride. We're all into sustainability, and so they took us out to dinner. They found us a place to camp, and it was all just because of this one greeting at a red light from Tina. And yeah, I really think just the Happy Monday thing, like it dissolves this boundary that we have between everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I think, do have the mindset of that every day is a blessing and a new day to explore the world, but I think so many people are just locked into this robotic day-to-day life that there's nothing spontaneous in their day. They think the same thoughts, and they meet the same people, and they don't talk to certain people. They do talk to other people. And so, like, when we just jump in and we're like, "Hey, happy Monday! We wanna talk to you," I think it just kind of swirls around their everyday emotions.
It seems like to me too is like when you go into that kind of like, hey, today is a special day.
Exactly.
Like, specifically, it's like this is a special day because you met me, and I'm doing this awesome thing, and you know, to me, someone that's like just meeting you for the first time, you know, like just kind of from the mindset of like, you know, wow, these guys are doing something that I totally think I personally have been thinking about how awesome it would be to get a group of like-minded individuals to go cross country. And I mean, you guys are doing it by bike. You're not doing it by car or rail or anything like that. You guys are doing it like with manpower, human power,
peanut butter and jelly
power. And when you meet someone that's doing something like such a great quest, you want to help them. And that spontaneousness and like that where you're like, oh, I really want to take these people in and take care of them because I know they're doing something that I really want to promote. So it's like, oh, these guys are doing this. Well, you know, if no one's going to take care of these guys, I got to do it. So, you know, you go and find you and like, you know, take care of you for that night, and then, you know, you go off on your way, and then and it all starts with like a happy Tuesday. You know? And it's just such a great mechanism. And I was wondering, what are like the economics of it? Like, did you have to save money before you left? And, you know, like, because I think one of the things that keep people from doing it is that they're like, well, I got these responsibilities here, I can't do that, or I just don't have the money to go and not work for, you know, this amount of time. What's the like economic realities?
Well, I did definitely save up money, and my parents did help me a lot buying a new bicycle. But one of our key components is just finding the lowest cost for everything. So we have these kitty litter buckets that we got donated for free, and then it cost us $6 instead of these $100 panniers. Each pannier is $100 usually. We are in the process of becoming a nonprofit, so then we will hopefully get grants or donations more, but we have been getting a lot of donations. And really, I mean, one of our main premises is kind of like the Buckminster Fuller concept that like the world is an abundant and inherently giving place. It's like the universe is this gift economy inherently, but we're perceiving it as some place where everything's scarce. And so one of our big mindsets is that if we set this intention that we are working for the greater good and we are intending to give, then we will receive. So we're kind of going out on a limb, but this limb we've seen it to be very strong. So like almost every town we go to, people have open arms. They're taking us in like you have, and cooking us delicious dinners. A lot of the places that we've stayed have been focused on like local organic food, so we're often gifted with this amazing food, and we often go into places and we're like, oh, we're biking across America. We consider ourselves food waste managers, so we'll say, do you have any sandwiches that are going to go expired at like a gas station? And then often they'll have a bunch of stuff, or like old bananas. We have a word called Banana Fest.
Banana Fest.
So we're very oftentimes our muscles are sore and we want bananas, so we just set our intention on finding bananas. And I really feel like it's some sort of universal law that if you really set your intention on something, you're going to find, especially when you're traveling, so it's like a more likelihood of finding it. And so we just went dumpster diving in Lincoln, and we had this huge crate of bananas that we found that were all good.
Very nice.
And as far as like getting getting on the road, I think it really comes down to this concept of just like initiative, just like we are going to do this, we're going to come up with whatever we can to do this. And an example of that is we were just in Fairfield and we met this really cool guy, Chris, that we really connected with, very similar world views and stuff, and he was like, oh, I'll just ride with you guys for 30 miles, then I'll turn around and come back to Fairfield. And he rode out 30 miles with us, and he was like, well, I'll just camp with you guys. And then he was having such a good time, we were like, yo, if you want to come with us on this quest, you can. And we will hook you up in one day. And then so they were just like, all right, we're going to do this. We'll set the initiative. And so Charlie went back and attached kitty litter buckets that they got donated from the house that we had been staying at that night, and they put on a rack. They did all this stuff, and it definitely cost money, but Chris had money saved up. And I mean, I think in the long run, if you really make if you put time and energy and money into it, then you will receive the fruits of that labor. And I relate that back to two things. One is you put this effort into the IshTube community 2 years ago, which I found searching on my computer, and then I was convinced to read this book. I took the initiative to go to Barnes & Noble's and get it, and then that just really did bring me here because of your initiative.
Yeah, so I mean, not to toot my own horn, I mean, this is you know, kind of what's really had to happen, but because of us, like the IshTubers, putting up our videos and letting it be known that this is a very important book, you were able to read that and then be like cultural recyclists with your friends, kind of start a community where you are, and then this traveling tribe was formed.
Yeah.
And just because out of just our need to express ourselves and to not feel alone and to be connected with other people across the country and the globe, you know, and that need was sufficed by you guys responding to us, and then also the inspiration that you guys felt, you know, to go through that and then be here and take on this amazing quest. You know, I mean, I'm a lucky guy. I live a very sedentary life, you know, like I live here in Lincoln. I love Lincoln. I got Meadowlark, you know, I got my tribal business, you know, and I do my wild edibles, and I try to live off the grid as much as I possibly can. There's a lot for me to yet do, but I definitely, like you said, have taken the initiative and like chunk, make a list of stuff to do and get it done.
Exactly.
Figure out the strategy and go for it, you know. And it's just kind of like that cycle out thing, you know. It's like I had to get this message out. You know, because Daniel Quinn, I mean, I love him, but he's not exactly the marketer that Ishmael needs.
Exactly.
You know.